Hello everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Well, we got ourselves a game on Sunday. 1 o'clock against the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, this game means so much more than just potential playoff berth. I mean, the playoffs would be nice. I am not one of these people that, is like, well, I don't want to make the playoffs. You always want to make the playoffs. I mean, I would think you would always want to make the playoffs. Yes, our draft position can be screwed. We can go from drafting potentially third with some help to drafting 19th if we make the playoffs. But you always want to have an opportunity to get into the postseason because you know what? You never know what happens if you get into the postseason play. And as bad as our offense is, I'm not counting on that. But you know what? This game has so many more different levels than just the playoffs. And one thing, or a couple things that come to my mind. Number one, Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones goes out there and plays lights out, we are going to hear all the Daniel Jones fans tell us for an entire offseason, Daniel Jones is the man, Daniel Jones is this, Daniel Jones is that. And what they're going to do is they are going to base it off of the Dallas game. And no other information will matter or no other stats will matter outside of that Dallas game. Now, of course, you look at the opposite end of the spectrum. If Daniel Jones tosses up a stinker, the first thing that all Daniel Jones, first thing that all Daniel Jones haters are going to say is, well, see that? Look at that. Look how terrible he is. Look how terrible he is. Look how bad he played against Dallas. Well, we needed him the most. He's not a big game player. So this is a no-win scenario for the Giants or Daniel Jones. Really, it's not. And honestly, the decision to have Daniel Jones be the starter for year 3 seems to already be preordained. It seems that the Giants will go into year 3 with Daniel Jones as the quarterback. More than likely, what they're going to do is they're going to try to lay the blame at the feet of Jason Garrett, that his offense was not consistently good enough for Daniel Jones, which I laugh because I've said this a million times. People sit there and tell you, well, if Daniel Jones had a better line, if Daniel Jones had more talent at the wide receiver position and a better running back, he would have better stats. He would be a Pro Bowler. Shouldn't the same philosophy then be tailored towards Jason Garrett? If Jason Garrett had a better offensive line, better weapons at wide receiver, and a better running back, wouldn't his offense work better? But what they're probably going to do is they're probably just going to say it was all Jason Garrett's fault. Because, like I said, I'm not going to go through it again. We've gone through that. That's been the Giant way over the last couple of years. You don't look at the potential causes of the problem. You look at the easiest solution to the problem that you don't want to deal with, and then you wait another year. And I'm not saying Daniel Jones is going to suck next year. I don't know. But the problem is all the people that think he's going to be fantastic next year don't know that either. And then this is also the game for Dave Gettleman. And for people that we did a video, and for people to say that this is a Dave Gettleman game, that Dave Gettleman has to win this game to save his job, you know what the hell you're talking about. Dave Gettleman's decision on Dave Gettleman's probably already been made. Dave Gettleman's going to be looking at the totality of his career with the Giants, not just one game on January 3rd, 2021. They're going to look at his drafts. They're going to look at his free agencies. They're going to look at the head coach. They're going to look at the quarterback. It's not going to matter if the Giants win this game and go 6-10 and make the playoffs, or lose this game and go 5-11 and don't make the playoffs, or win this game and still don't make the playoffs. It's not going to matter. It's not going to be. The Giant organization already has an opinion of what they're going to do with Dave Gettleman. This game is not going to matter, and it's not going to matter in that decision-making process. It's just not. The other thing we need to look at this game is take a look at Joe Judge. How is Joe Judge going to respond after a bunch of bad losses in a row when you had basically games that were needed to push your team into the playoffs, which is the goal of every head coach? How is he going to respond after 3 bad losses in a row? How is he going to get his troops up and running? Because Joe has made some questionable calls, some questionable timeouts, some questionable challenges the last 3 games. I'm not blaming this at his feet for the blame either for the losing. But how is Joe going to respond? What is the mettle of the man for Joe Judge? How is he going to come? Is his team going to come out flat, or is his team going to come out and try to rock this game? Because you could say whatever you want about the Giants under Pat Shurmur, and you could say that Pat Shurmur was a bad coach for the Giants. And anyone who's been following me for over a year now knows I hated Pat Shurmur. Oh, God. I hated Pat Shurmur with a passion because I think that first season he could have won at least 4 more games. I mean, we had the lead with under 2 minutes left 5 times and lost 4 of those games. And then people blame Eli Manning because he'll get the ball back with 28 seconds and no timeouts. You're going to have to drive 90 yards, and people are like, what's all Eli Manning's fault? It's like, no, did you see the plays before that he gave the team the lead after the 2-minute warning and we lost the game? So, I mean, but you could say, like I said, you could say whatever you want about Pat Shurmur, but the Giants played hard under Shurmur. They really did. I don't give Shurmur credit for a lot of things or anything, really. But they played hard under Shurmur. So how are the Giants going to respond this last week? This game is more. You always have when you were a bad losing team the last game of the season. It's always for pride. It's always pride. But my question is this: it's more than just pride. It's more than just playing for your coach. It's you need to show a progression, and the young guys, in my opinion, have to have a good game going out into the next season. Because Andrew Thomas has had his ups and downs. I'd like to see him dominate. You know, I'd like to see some of the guys on defense step up, some of the young guys. Because who knows if Carter Coughlin, Cam Brown, or anyone else is going to make the team next year. Because you don't know who they're bringing in. And it's also an interesting time for some guys on guys that are playing for their contract lives to see exactly what's going to happen. Or if they're going to turn into trade bait. But my thing is this: you can't justify the entire season off of this win or loss from either side. You really can't. You can't do that. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And a lot of fans will do that. They will justify the entire season if we win or if we lose tomorrow. If we win, we had a great season. We finished 6-10 and missed the playoffs. If we lose, it's going to be the end of the world. That we're 5-11. It's just what it's been the last 4 years. Everyone just needs to stay at an even keel. It's all good. Put some rum in your Black Rifle. Coffee. I still have a bunch of Holiday Blend left. It'll make you good, make you feel warm inside. Make you forget about it. It'll make you forget about that we're 5-11 or 6-10. But like I said, this game has more than just playoff implications. This game is just we can show the New York area, the tri-state area, that the Giants are playing for more than pride. Because technically they are. Because the game, Washington doesn't play till 8:20. So this game is for more than pride. This game is for potentially a playoff spot. And we have to show, or they need to show, that they have the ability and the fortitude, and they have learned how to win. They have learned how to move forward. And I would be happy if they lost on a last-second field goal and it was a hard-fought game and guys showed something. And I would also just be happy that they won. Now, if they go out and blow up a stinker and get blown out, that's just going to send the Twitter sphere and YouTube sphere. That's just going to send those guys just freaking crazy. So let's just hope that we play well, we play hard, Joe Judge limits his mistakes, we win, and then we sit there at 8:20 and pray to God that Washington loses. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you can subscribe, if you can ring that bell, you know what I mean? That'd be awesome.